Welcome to After the Buzzer. I'm Ryan Connors. This is Matt Ellentuck. We're here talking Terps basketball after Maryland just beat Princeton at the Royal Farms Arena in Baltimore. Matt, what was the biggest thing you saw today?
It was finally the return of Maryland's front court, I think. Maryland's been relying a lot on its back court. In previous games, Melo Trimble and Rasheed Suleiman have seemed to carry the team a bit, and tonight, Suleiman with 11, Trimble with 7. There wasn't as much of a scoring output from the guards, and the big stepped up.
I mean, they definitely did, but Jake Layman, 19 points, he had another hot game. Granted, it wasn't against a conference opponent, but what do you think of his performance so far this season? He's really received probably the most flack.
Yeah. I definitely don't understand the Jake Layman hate. I've talked about it before. He does so much all around, whether it's rebounding, whether it's defense at the top of the zone. Just being a 6'9" small forward is such a benefit, and a lot of teams don't have that luxury. But tonight we actually saw the Jake Layman of old, where he put on a scoring performance. He finished with 19. You could tell from the beginning he was shooting with confidence. He took 4 3-pointers in the early going, hit 2 of them, had a different type of rhythm, a different type of attitude in his game. Definitely, he got aggressive. He drove to the basket a little bit. A good Jake Layman on offense is a real difference maker.
What do you say to someone who says they won't believe in Jake Layman until he has a good performance against a solid opponent?
I mean, Jake doesn't have to have this great performance every time, and yeah, he happens to do well against the weaker teams because he's playing smaller opponents, but just because his numbers go down against better opponents doesn't necessarily mean that he played that much worse of a game. Box score numbers aren't everything. And if you look at Jake Layman's game tape, you can see all the small things that he does. And he's so valuable, and he will be missed next year.
So Jalen Brantley, finally, he had his best game so far. He came into the season with only 11 points. How many points did he score today?
He scored 14 today. His previous career high was 7. So a pouring in the later stages. I think he had 7 consecutive points. He hit 2 threes today. I think that maybe that's a bit of the Layman factor.
Maybe. I mean, whatever the case, I think definitely Brantley's going to be key, because I just saw last year when Maryland didn't have a backup point guard, Melo Trimble, towards the end of the season, it was really hard for him to shoulder the load. And now Rasheed Suleiman essentially is the backup point guard, but if they can have Brantley also as a ball handler, that is extremely dangerous.
Yeah, Brantley's key, and Turgeon has definitely mentioned his name a few times and has kind of just been poking around to see if he can get a reaction out of him. And finally, Brantley got the minutes tonight, and I think he proved what Turgeon saw in him when he was recruited earlier on. And Brantley can score, and his size doesn't necessarily matter. He actually took it to the hole a couple of times, and he looked great tonight.
Sure. Any final thoughts?
Are you guys special? You have mid-court seats?
Don Marcus, you want to join us?
No, he doesn't.
All right, we got rejected by Don Marcus, but anyway, that'll cap it off here. Maryland with a 21-point victory over Princeton, and they'll have another extended break before they return to Xfinity Center and take on Marshall. Thanks for watching.